Exactly.
But we're not going to date less than what we already bring to the table.
Right.
So if I'm making 6 figures and he work at FedEx, that's not going to work.
Right.
If I make 6 figures and he's a shift manager at Burger King, that's not going to work.
Right.
If I make 6 figures and and I hate to say this, and he's a teacher, he makes $54,000 a year, and I make $150,000, that's not going to work.
Right.
Because that's the roles have shifted. At this point, he's the woman, I'm the female, and I'm the man.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you guys so much for joining us for I'm Glad You Asked. My name is Bianca Ariel, business coach and the creator of the Release and Reset series.
And I am Dominique Rice, serial entrepreneur, and we are so glad you're tuning in. And I'm even more excited that we have 2 special guests here today. Not only are they guests, but they are my personal friends and confidants, okay? These ladies know me. They are in my life. They are in my inner circle, and they are near and dear to my heart. So, ladies, thank y'all for being here, and please introduce yourselves and who you are.
Okay. Hey, y'all. Hi, I'm Kay Jones. I am the creator and founder of She Orgasms. They call me the vagina activist. The she keeper, Madam KJ Walker, whatever you want to call me. I am just here being part of a great conversation with great women, so I'm excited.
Hi, I'm Keisha Young, and I'm a good friend of Dominique's, and just here to talk girl talk.
Yes, and today is all about girl talk. So we are talking about defining and about being dominant and submissive in relationships, and just what that means to each other and to ourselves, and just having some fun conversations about this. So, what does being dominant and submissive mean to you, Kay? And are you dominant or submissive?
I am a beautiful balance of both.
Okay.
I've learned I've mostly been dominant my whole life, but then a man turned me into a submissive. So that's been fun.
So did he turn you into it like all around? Just not,
my body naturally became a little girl. Like I was just like, show me attention, hug me, love me,
okay.
Be my friends, and I just got softer around him because he had so much masculine energy.
Wow.
Like I had no choice but to submit. It was
wow.
like, I run this shit. I run this.
It's all good. It's all good.
I run this. Like you're the woman. Like let me handle this. And like when you feel safe and secure and guided properly, and you feel respected, loved, nurtured, appreciated, respected. I would blindly just fall back into his arms. So it feels good to be submissive to the right person.
Exactly. It has to be a leader, and you
have
to know where they're going, and they have to, you don't even have to ask. That's how I feel. Like if you have to ask where you're going,
you trust it.
Then they ain't leading right, because you shouldn't got to ask. We're going where you say we going.
I don't know where we going, girl, but I trust it.
Exactly. What do you think?
I want to piggyback off of Kay. That's true. I think a lot of times as women, especially with black women, a lot of us are very, very dominant. They can come off somewhat masculine.
Okay.
They can be a turn off a lot of men. But to pick up on what she said, it's true when you're with somebody who's a true masculine man, not hyper masculine, not, trying to be masculine, but they really are truly masculine, meaning that they're providers, leaders, protectors. They do what they're supposed to do. They're good fathers, they're good men in the community or whatever. As a natural feminine woman, you fall into place.
Right.
And being submissive is nothing. That's
right.
It just clicks.
Yep. It does. I 100% agree with that. One thing that I always like to talk about, I was raised very differently. So my mom is a black woman. She's biracial.
Well, before we get into that, let's talk about, Dominique, are you dominant or submissive?
Oh, who am I?
Yes.
It's so funny because I'm actually really, really submissive in my personal life. Like, I am very submissive. I believe a man should lead. I follow a man's lead. Like, I do not even want to think when I come home. I want my man to tell me what to do, how to do it, and when to do it. I am very submissive. And people don't know that about me because I'm a boss. I'm a boss babe. So, because I'm so dominant in my career and at work, people have no idea how I am. So a lot of times people view my success as me being dominant, or I don't know how to submit to a man, when it's the total
You
opposite.
hit it on the nail.
It's the opposite. Like, I can't wait to have a man who I can just look up to like that and who can lead our family and that I can follow. And that's so important to me. And that's the only thing. I won't have it any other way.
Quick question.
Yes.
I'd like to add to that. I feel like men have to understand that us independent women who are bosses, who have to be strong and dominant in our work life, they have to still, like, they can't just assume we don't need stuff.
Right.
Like, I still want you to go fill my gas up.
For
I
sure.
still want you to contribute to groceries. Like, I still want you to do those things that you know I can do. Obviously, I can pay for all these things, but the simple gesture of you doing it, and they like to put it on us like, well, you don't need that. You don't, but we do need it. We may not monetarily need it, but the gesture is what we need. So they have to just understand that.
And I personally believe that a man should pay all the household bills. I don't care. I don't care if I make $10 billion tomorrow. I believe the man of my household should pay every single bill in this household. Yep. And that does not mean that I don't contribute. Okay? I will contribute to building our generational wealth for our family. I will be doing other things with the money that I bring in. I'll be maxing out our IRA. I'll be making sure our kids are set, our children's children are set. But for me, if you're a dominant man, if you are a leader of this family, you cannot call yourself the man of the house and we splitting bills.
Yeah, we're not
But we
roommates.
can't expect
What the hell is you a
that in
roommate?
the beginning. Like, I think women
Okay,
expect
so
our...
I'm here.
You're so...
Baby.
And tell us about Bianca.
But I'm going to learn a lot in this episode because as the lesbian in the room, I can't speak to any of that. I would like to say that I am a balance of dominant and submissive, but I am a very dominant individual. I pride myself on that, and I'm going to learn why I should try to adjust. But I am very submissive in sexually. Okay. So I'm interested to hear like your perspective and why I should move more into the submissive role, but that's very difficult for me to do.
There's no should. I don't think you should move more into the submissive
I don't call
role.
it submissive for you. I would call it femininity. So
Okay.
I think like channeling your inner goddess and your inner, so like channeling that you are a goddess and you are a queen. And whether with a man or a woman, you should be treated as a goddess. You should be treated as the person, the queen you are, regardless if it's a man or a woman. Your needs should be fulfilled and you shouldn't have to settle for anything less than what you desire and deserve, regardless. So instead of like putting things out there like, well, I'll accept that. And if I had to take that, I would take that. It's accepted. It's knowing who you are, knowing what you want. You could like women, men, cats, dogs. I don't care what the hell you like, but you have to be able to know that you deserve everything you desire.
Okay, so tell us about the dynamic between your mom and your aunt.
So I grew up very non-traditional. So I have a mom who identifies as a black woman. She's biracial. And my mom is very, 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 very aggressive. Okay? Even though her mother is white, she is a very aggressive black woman. Okay? Her brother, who I grew up on and off living with, my uncle, he's married to a white woman, my aunt. Her name is Summer. So Amy and Summer. My mom could be asking a man to do something. So say, for instance, she wants her man to take out the trash. You see that trash, fool? Take that trash out right now. What do you think a man's natural response is?
Man,
Well, it's saying, right. You give somebody hostility, you're getting hostility back. Whereas my aunt's natural response is, hey, babe, would you mind taking the trash out? Can you even say no?
She asked for what she needed.
Can you say no if someone asks you to take the trash out like that? You can't. You can't be like, no, I can't.
So is that being submissive or is that just polite?
It's being submissive and being smart.
Okay.
See, the thing is with men, how can I say this and not be ugly? Men need their ego stroke at all times.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Really?
It's like I'm just going to say it's like being with 3-year-old toddlers. You have to coddle their egos. And so when you do that, you get great rewards.
Okay.
So when you learn that and really learn that and
Okay.
really finesse the HELL out of that, you get whatever you want. That's why you see with certain women in certain stages of life and they live in a certain kind of lifestyle, you're like, how is she doing that? She learned how to tap into her femininity, her goddessness, her whatever it is, and then she know how to stroke that ego. It's a wrap. you don't have to pay bills.
That's
Let me not say too much because I don't want nobody watching the show that knows me, that's dating me. But
Keep paying those bills, y'all.
yeah, keep paying bills.
so funny.
But when you learn how to stroke a man's ego, doesn't matter if he black, polka dot, white, zebra print, it do not matter. All men are the same. Their egos are very fragile.
So do you get your ego stroked?
Yeah.
You have one to stroke?
All of us do, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so what type of things is he supposed to be saying to you?
I mean, it's not what he's saying, it's what he's doing.
Actions speak
It's
louder than words,
well,
baby.
such as?
when you're a feminine woman such as myself, it's the actions I'm looking at. You know, if you say you're going to do something, do it. You know what I'm saying? If I feel, like she was saying, if I feel secure with you, you know, the masculinity is on high. I know when we're out places, I don't have to, you know, go in my pocket or my pocketbook or my biscuits. You know, I feel secure with you. That's all I'm worried about. You know,
Exactly.
so if I feel that way with you, is 100%. I'm cool. That's me right there. That's you stroking my ego. That's making me feel good as a woman.
Okay.
So that's why I look at
need
it.
both. I need the words and the actions, and I need to feel the energy. Like if your words don't match your energy, I'm
That's what I
going
mean,
to
yeah.
know. So if
Right.
you're like, oh no, it's fine, you can go to bed, I'm not tripping, but I can feel the anger building up because you know, like I need you to speak on it. Like I'm a very speak on it person. Like I can't. But I'm also, so I think the difference between being submissive and how your aunt and your mom is that your aunt is softer.
Right.
She understands the delicacy of a man's ego and not really just like stroking it. You got to just be fragile with it, not like it's like a glass or something, but delicate like a bomb. Like if you drop it, it's, you know what I'm saying? So instead of being like, whenever you come here, you know, you don't ever come to Charlotte to see me. You just be coming here to hang out with your boys, blah, 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 blah. Instead of saying that, just say what you need. Just be like, I really wish that you would spend more time with me, like just me when you come here.
Right.
Like it's just as simple as being so soft. So like, just tell them what you want and why you want it instead of making it a complaint, because a complaint is just a lack of needs being met.
That's true. That's true.
So.
I just okay. So does it take an additional energy to
Absolutely,
I was just
girl.
gonna
really
say
get
that.
in that space? Because I would have to think about this, like because like I'm very busy and I just need you to do this.
Can I say this? And I want to pick back off what she was saying. In order for you to even be in that space, you have to be in your divine femininity. And most women, black, white, polka dot, it doesn't matter. We're not in that space. So that's a problem. And that's what we have a problem with men and being submissive. A lot of women just don't care to do it. They don't.
How do you get into your divine femininity?
You have to just really work on it. You have to work
There's a
on,
lot.
yeah.
There's a lot of things you can do, honestly.
Meditation, you know, you might want to do some one-on-one time, some self-care, but you got to really tap into yourself. And then what a lot of women fail to realize too, a lot of us have a lot of hurts that we have not dealt with. That can be, help through therapy, religion, church, however you want to do it. But that's what it really stems down to. If you can get and tap, work with that and better yourself, then when you talk to people and interact with your man or your child or whoever, it'll come across that way. Do you get what I'm saying?
I really feel that because, I like that you correlated with self-healing because now that I'm on my self-healing journey, I notice a lot of the behaviors that I used to demonstrate in the past. I'm starting to really identify those, and I'm not going to say that I don't retract sometimes, but I'm able to correct the behavior, point it out, and I'm able to kind of respond maybe after the fact. I'm working on it after the fact with more of a softer approach because it's just not who I am anymore.
Right.
That's just not, I don't respond. First of all, I don't deal with certain things that I used to deal with. Good. It's just my boundaries. I now have internal boundaries. Good. And now I'm starting to be able to communicate exactly what I'm looking for moving forward. And that's starting to become an easier process the more you work on your self-healing.
And that's really important because you'll realize when you're in an argument. This is what I realized. So when I'm about to see an argument starting or like me getting defensive about something or feeling a type of way or being like, whatever he just said didn't sit with me. And the only reason it didn't sit with you is because it was true. So if he's like, you always complaining, you just so selfish. You'd be like, I'm not effing selfish. Like, why did I just get so mad? Wait a minute.
Right. Yeah.
I must be selfish. Like, you have to realize why you're getting so upset. Because if it wasn't true, you wouldn't be mad. If it didn't, if it didn't fit with you, and if you knew you were solid with who you were, anything that anyone on the outside says to you shouldn't matter. If you was really solid.
That's really
But
true.
so then you have to reflect and be like, okay, wait a minute, hold on. You're right. I can be selfish. How can I like fix that? Like, what can I do to make me not seem so selfish? Right. You know what I'm saying? Saying to be like, oh, no, because it's easy to go there. It's almost like our bodies are used to trauma. It's used to defending ourselves and protecting ourselves. So when you're in those situations, you want to resort back to that instead of staying with your true self, being aligned and being like, I'm not going down there with you. Why you down there? Come on, stop.
Right.
Like, let's just stay right here. There's no need.
Right.
You know, but it's so easy to go back down that route. So healing is the most important thing you can do to even try to be softer and submissive, because we do got a lot of hurt and anger in us. And even me who has done so much work, I pride myself on the work that I've done, because I honestly don't think there's another woman as happy as I am.
Wow.
That I know. You know what I'm saying? I'm the happiest woman that I know. So I know what.
That's a powerful statement.
Very.
And
I love it.
And
I'm happy,
you know,
so
and it
that's
took me a minute.
powerful.
I kind of felt bad because there's so many people that got so much shit going on, and I want to help because I've been there. I'm like, I know what you're feeling. I know what you're going through, but like, it's not the thoughts you have today is gonna be who you are in the future. So all you need to do is change the way you're thinking, and then you're gonna be a better person in about 3 months. Just chill.
3 months. Call me in 90 days. Read this book and call me in 90 days. But it's true. But you know, one thing I do want to touch on that's so important when you talk about trauma, and we have to understand this, and I don't want to make excuses for us. You know, we have trauma in our personal life, but we have trauma in our DNA. And Bianca and I talk about this. You know, if you read books like 12 Years a Slave, you know, when you really sit down and think about it, you know, like, we were instilled to go against the black man. You know, from slavery. If you take it all the way back to slavery, we were instilled to go against the black man. Again, when you talk about when welfare came about, you know, that kicked the black, that really broke up the black family. You know, it's like, okay, you can get this free rent, but your baby daddy got to move out. You can't have no husband, you know, but you can live for free.
Let me find out he in there. I'm kicking y'all all out.
Exactly. You know, so there are systematic things that have had to make the black woman so strong, you know, so we have to break that down, and we have to understand it's not an excuse, but we have to recognize that and move forward. So that's
how do you break that down without changing who you are at the source?
Find out who you truly are at the source, because there's no way that it wouldn't be conducive to who you are, right? So like, if you feel things are not feeling right, or it's like off, or you're not completely as content as you should be, is because you're not truly aligned to your source. Like, whenever you feel agitation, irritation, you know, all those just negative feelings, it is because you're so far from your true self.
Absolutely.
That they're just like, come back to me, come back over here.
And there's situations where, you know, you feel like you'll be fueled by an external external avenue, but when you leave that situation, you feel depleted.
Say it one more time.
There are situations where you feel like you are being fueled by an external source, but when you leave that source, you feel depleted.
right.
Because nothing from the outside should ever do your, like, you know, it's just like, we always think that.
I love it.
Perfect.
So, question for you guys. Do you guys believe in gender roles, and what are your expectations that you have in your relationships?
Keisha.
We'll be here all night. I just
Give us an overview.
as an overview, I expect my husband, future husband, to be very successful, however that looks. Preferably younger. I like younger men.
Okay.
Yeah,
You don't hear that often.
Right.
younger men are very attentive.
How old are you, though?
I'm 41.
Okay.
Attentive in what ways?
Every way.
Oh.
But yeah, younger, somebody who's very masculine, somebody who comes and well, a two-parent home, a loving two-parent home,
Right.
a father that was in his life. Preferably no kids out of wedlock. So if he's been married before and divorced, that's one thing. Kids out of wedlock, I don't really like to do. And people say, why do you say that? It's just the how can I say it? Not sound like I'm trying to talk down about somebody. When guys tend to have a lot of kids out of wedlock, it's just the mindset that goes behind it. Because why would you go to have children with someone but not want to be married to the mother and not be there for the kids 100%? I know there's certain situations that's the reason why some people don't get married, but I'm just talking about this in general. The guys who tend to have a lot of kids out of wedlook, it's just not a good look.
Right.
So someone who's just loving, down to earth, someone who would like to have a wife that's a stay-at-home wife.
She's available, guys. Okay.
That is so funny.
I'm very old school. I just want to be at home and make homemade banana nut bread. This simple thing. That's pretty much just.
So, Dominique, I'll ask you the same question.
Oh, I 100% agree. So I believe in gender roles. I do work. I always want to work. but I believe a man should be a provider. So I want to choose to work, not have to work. So if I say, you know what, I'm going to take 6 months off. Or when I'm pregnant, I want to be able to say, you know what, I want to put my feet up. I want to take time and focus on my pregnancy. Like, I want to stay home. Like, I want to have a choice. I am a workaholic. I love working. I love to produce. So I probably realistically won't stop working, but I want to have that option. Yeah. Okay. I expect a man to be a provider. I expect a man to be a leader. Like, that's a non-negotiable for me. It's just not. I don't necessarily have an age range. I date 23 to 63. So, granddaddy, daddy, grandson, I'm out here.
63.
That's a large.
But
right. I'm
Her
open.
options are open.
Yeah.
So what's up?
I like them young, but I date them old too. So
Right. 23 to 63.
So
Younger.
wait. Well, okay, you said, what was the question?
Do you believe in gender roles, and what are your expectations in your relationship?
So, I feel like the old me, definitely believed in gender role. Well, I didn't believe in them. I just knew they existed, but I knew that was never going to be my norm or never going to be my reality of having a gender norm relationship.
Why not?
Because I'm so different. I'm not 100% anything. I'm a good little collection of a bunch of different things. Like, I'm just a balance of all things. And then I did have expectations as far as what I wanted as a partner. But I realized that none of it actually matters when you have someone who's a grown-up, who knows how to communicate, who knows that life is all about changing and evolving. And even though you may have had all these things happen in your past, not past life, but in your past life and in your previous life, none of that has anything to do with me because I never dated that person. I don't know who that person is. The person that you are today with me right here, right now is exactly how I love you. So, I used to be like, I can't date no man with...
Good job.
Thanks. So glad you saw that. Okay.
Good job.
I can't date no man who, had kids or who was still in his growing stage and, still, had daddy, mommy issues. Like, I had all these things that I just could not date a man if. But I realized that if he knows how to handle his life, he knows how to balance his things, it doesn't even affect me. I still get all the things I need because he knows how to balance it.
But that's because your man is different. Your man is a man. So
Yeah,
you
some people
speak
don't
it.
say
But
no. People don't know
So
how
you
to
giving
handle
advice
it.
coming from people some people don't have your man. You have to be clear that your man is a man. So he may have kids from another relationship, but he's a man.
Yes,
and there
so
is
like-
a lot of gender roles because he's a man over there.
So
and
he just makes me
holds
want
it
to
down.
take the role of a woman.
Right.
Like I definitely want to be like, but I am a very successful woman.
Yes.
I do have, I can't have no man pay my bills because they not making the type of money to pay my bills. It's unrealistic. But as we get
It's not,
married,
but-
in my life it is, and it's not an expectation, so it's fine.
But it's not. There are plenty of people who
But I
pay
know-
that can make a lot of money.
I know, but it's okay. It's okay.
It's
if
okay,
it's not happening while we're in a relationship.
It's okay, but there
'Cause
are
I
lots of
don't-
men who make a lot of money.
Because I don't expect anyone to do that in a relationship stages. Like that's when we're supposed to be learning each other, and things are going to change and evolve. And there's phases to relationships where it's going to start off in that euphoric honeymoon stage where you want to do all things together and everything is great, and even all the bad things you look past and you're like,
Right.
he's still da-da-da-da-da. But
I don't
once
do
you're
that.
getting out of that euphoria, it's going to get into the reality where you got to go back to work, go
love
back
this
to doing your things, go back to being true to yourself and like staying, because I have to be me throughout a relationship. I can't become completely indulged in someone like we have to do all this together.
Right.
You need to call me every hour. I must know where you're at, what you're doing. I'm busy.
Right.
So I don't want that. I want a man who's going to be independent and I trust him to
Exactly.
just treat our relationship with respect. Now, when we're married, he should be paying all the bills. He
Right.
should be buying my house. He should, our house.
I agree.
Listen, my house. He should
Right.
be buying our house and
I agree
all
with
that. But I don't like putting the pressure, especially in this day and age where we're all dating people.
Right.
If he has at least 2, 3, 7, 12 women that he needs to knock off once he meets you. And you have about 2, 4, 6, 12, 40 men that you need to.
Not 40.
I know, right?
We out here.
Who knows? You know what I'm saying? Like, we
Knock
all,
off, what does that mean? You
like
gotta
to
knock
fade
off?
away.
Oh, no.
You know, like when
I
you
don't-
meet someone,
they
you
gotta
don't
go.
know what they got going on. They had
Right.
a whole life before you just came into the
Yeah.
picture. So you can't expect them to be like, I'm just about to dead everything in my life and really do this with you. You got to give people time. So we be trying to do something within 6 months.
I don't agree with that.
You can't do nothing
6
major
months?
within
You're
6
serious.
months.
Bianca be
You
married in
cannot.
37 days.
And that's why
So,
the thing don't last a year.
that's
Because
true.
you don't let
I
things
agree
go
with
to
your.
the
I
6 month
100%
mark.
agree with you. First of all, you need 4 seasons to really get to know somebody. So you should not
An
you should-
entire year.
An entire year
Okay.
before you. I'm not committing to anybody until I have 4 seasons with you. Now we can date. We can be in a. We can commit to each other in terms of we're not seeing other people.
I just don't. I think getting to know somebody, it's okay. If you want to take that long to get to know somebody, that's cool.
Not
but
get
I
to
don't.
know.
But I do not want. I'm not dating anybody that's. If I'm interested in you, you're not about to be entertaining a whole bunch.
But you
of
don't
different
have to
Oh, no,
entertain
no,
other
no,
people.
it's not.
but
That's
you
not
still
part
gotta
of
take
it.
the time to get to know them and
Okay,
not
that's
And not rush into things like,
Right.
let's move in together. Here, start driving my
Exactly.
car everywhere you go.
Exactly.
Start, let's meet let's just chill. Like,
Okay,
it's
that's fine. I
fine.
can agree with that.
Right.
But what you're not going to do is entertain me and like 5, 6, 7,
Absolutely
8
not,
others.
because
Exactly.
there's no need. You got everything you need right
Yeah,
here.
and
Go
that's
and
just
did
on
all that.
period.
And that's just on
Right.
period.
But take your time to get to because the
I
biggest
agree
thing
with
that we do.
I agree. I definitely
we
need
be
to
so
own that.
eager in a relationship.
Right.
We want men to be everything early. Like, if
Exactly.
you're gonna do that, you need to be with me. You need to figure it out. You need to da-da-da-da. Like, we're ready. Like, we're just like, come on, let's go.
Right.
And the men are like, oh, wait, oh,
Right.
crap. I do like you, but I'm still not sure and I'm not ready. I got all this stuff going on. But we are so like, well, I need you to do the. It's just too much.
But it's not even about them. It should be about yourself.
It should.
Because you should be taking the time to get to learn their actions and their behavior. So as a woman, my recommendation to all my friends is to, okay, check him out this month. Okay, because really 90 days, it's a representative for the first 90.
Absolutely.
So you're just getting a representative.
The
So
best.
you're getting the best of the best of the first 90. So if the first 90 you're arguing, there's a little bit of bickering
Think
here and
about
there.
it.
What's gonna happen the next 90?
And why are you putting up with certain things? Like, women put up with so much dumb stuff. Like,
Right.
it's like when you see these things, just let it go. You deserve so much more. It is
Right.
not that deep. I
But-
would much rather be lonely than to be with
Exactly.
someone who's not giving me what I need.
Exactly. And here's the thing about it. You're putting up with that because you put so much pressure to lock them down. So now y'all are together.
And
so
that-
you're embarrassed to
you're-
break up. So now you're sticking through things and you're ignoring red flags because you go together and it's harder to break up when you go together. So you accept and tolerate things that you otherwise wouldn't if you would have just focused on the
Yep.
discovery phase.
And
It's a
if you-
discovery phase.
I like
If
that.
you do everything through love, there's no need to throw anything in anyone's face.
Right.
If you're throwing things in people's faces because you did it to manipulate. You didn't do it because you wanted to see them do well or you wanted to make them happy or you just felt like it just needed to happen. You did it because you wanted to be like, well, I watched your babies when you went out to do
I've
all
never
this.
been that type
or
of
you-
person. I forget the things that I do for people. Sometimes
That's how
people
it
come
should
to me and they're like,
be.
"Oh, you did this X, Y, Z." I'm like, I don't even remember that. Like, that's never been my intention.
Trust, there's not a lot of
Exactly.
women like
Yeah.
that. A
And
they
lot
really
of
are
women
aggressive.
very like, I'm doing this, I did this, you don't never do this, but I've done all this. It's like, why are we calculating?
Then you didn't really do it with
You
pure
didn't do it
intention.
with pure
Right.
intentions.
Right.
And that's my thing. It's like, okay, I cannot date somebody just for money.
I don't think, I mean, you have to enjoy them, but let me tell you, I'm gonna be honest, especially like when you date men, I don't think we hold black men to a high enough standard financially.
Okay.
Because there's enough money. This is my lowest making year of my career since I've been 22 years old.
Okay.
I still make 6 figures.
Okay.
With my eyes closed.
Okay.
In a pandemic.
Okay.
No, it was a great year.
Okay. This is my lowest making year. So when we talk about black men not making 6 figures, I think that's an excuse.
I don't. I
Y'all
also feel
need to
like-
go get some money because I'm gonna give you 10 business ideas and I can tell you how to make 6 figures in an hour and I can give you a whole action plan. So if you want to put in the work, call me.
Thank
It's
you.
$199 and I'm gonna give you a whole action plan how you can make 6 figures in 2021.
Thank you. Absolutely.
DominiqueRice.com. Okay, call me 1 hour, $199.
But you
And
don't
I'm
want
gonna
a
give
man
the
that's
action
calling
plan.
you trying to figure it out.
No, not to call. No, call me for the book, the consultation, not
Okay.
to talk to me. I'm not
That's
interested.
so
That's
funny.
you're there.
As black women, we're so used to lowering our standards.
Right.
And we've been told that, oh, well, you need to date Pookie and Ray Ray and them and just deal with it. Because, we've been through so much as a people, with slavery
God,
and
no.
civil rights, and I get it. And Dominique had mentioned it at the beginning, but I just feel like it's like you're saying before, these black men need to step it up, and that's why I advocate for women to date others outside their race, because at the end of the day, there's all kinds of men that you could be dating that will love you and take care of you and give you what you want. You don't have to only date Pookie and Ray Nam. You can date Brandon, Chad, and Justin, and and Kumar, and you can date Alejandros and Roberto. So I just want black women to be happy and well watered. So just don't rely on the good old, Kenneth and Tyrone and them. Just definitely be open to other things.
Listen, I'm working on the balance, but first of all, I have to be connected with you. I have to see the ambition. I have to really believe in the potential, but I don't want to fall in love with the future. I have to really understand and analyze what's going on here in the present.
Right.
And that's what I'm working on.
Right.
I don't want to. You don't have to make six figures, but like we were talking about today, some things, it depends on what you want to do. And so if you're my partner, we're going to want to do similar things. And it's going to require resources.
Yeah. Right. Can I say this?
Yes, ma'am.
As when you're dating, especially women who make a good little pretty penny, you should be dating men who make at least what you make or twice as more.
Period.
So like for me, I make under $100,000 a year. So if I date somebody, my minimum is $100,000 a year. But if somebody like Dominique and you all who do run businesses, you probably want to talk to me who only make, I would if I were in your position. I would want to talk to somebody who make at least $200,000 and up. And like Dominique said, it's possible. It's so many. We got to stop putting ourselves in this little circle like, well, it's only this amount of men that make this kind of money, so I'm just going to just rely on this and pray to white Jesus that things will come through.
No, white Jesus.
You have to have your mind open to say, okay, the universe, I want you to bring to me who's meant to be with me and call it a day. But in the day, you still got to work on yourself, be into yourself, be selfish, be selfish.
Okay.
And just do you, and whoever's meant to be with you will come to you.
Exactly.
But we're not going to date less than what we already bring to the table.
Right.
So if I'm making six figures and he work at FedEx, that's not going to work.
Right.
If I make six figures and he's a shift manager at Burger King, that's not going to work.
Right.
If I make six figures and I hate to say this, and he's a teacher, he makes $54,000 a year, and I make $150,000, that's not going to work.
Right.
Because that's the roles have shifted. At this point, he's the woman, I'm the female, and I'm the man. I'm big on gender roles, like Dominique says. And so I'm big on being traditional too. So I just feel like a man should always make the most in the household.
In the household. So she's not saying dating, she's saying in the household.
I agree with 100% of what everything you guys have said. And I'm just going to talk for 45 seconds.
Go ahead.
Because I don't like us tearing down the black men because they do have a lot stacked against them. And I think we expect too much from them, but also don't give them enough credit. Now, when I say them, it's an even split. So there is some who are absolutely terrible. There are some who are absolutely trying their best. There are absolutely some that are doing their best.
Right.
And I think we can't expect all of them to be in the same category.
Right.
Because there has to be a balance of people throughout life. We all can't be bosses. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
And I've realized that the most happy, amazing, enjoyable moments in my relationships had nothing to do with the money. And I don't understand why money has been such a leading factor in everything, because joy should never come from monetary. It should never come from expectations. It should never come from what you hope someone can do for you, because you should be content. I actually, even if I lost all the money that I made over the year, I would be so happy because I had love. Right. You know what I'm saying? Even if we were broke and he couldn't pay for it. And thankfully, I got a man who's an entrepreneur and he makes his own money and he makes good money and he handles all the things he needs to handle. But, I feel like since we've put so much pressure on people making money, it makes everything a lot more complicated, because now we're getting upset with people because of money. Like, well, you can't go on trips with me, you can't do this, and now we're breaking up because of money, and now we're staying together because of money, and now we're doing all these things because of money, and we're forgetting about the key components of how someone makes you feel. So, I feel like I definitely can't date no broke man, but I can definitely date someone who can handle his amount of money. But the problem is men ego won't allow them to be with a woman with money, and that's
the hard part. That's why I
we
can't
messed
do it
up.
either.
It's because men are so butthurt about Black women becoming so successful and surpassing them in the money thing, where they're messing up the gender. We're kind of messing up the gender roles, because now men are literally staying with women, sugar mamas. They're getting sugar mamas and stuff like that. Like, that's completely reversed. So I don't know. I just want more women to stop wanting money as what's going to make them happy. Like, a man is going to make you happy with who he is, and then the money is just going to be a perk.
Right.
So let me just say this. Okay. So I agree with you. I'm more in the connection on like a soul level, okay? But I also, if I lost all my money, yes, I will be upset.
Thank you.
I feel like I feel like both can coexist. Right. For me, I don't put an emphasis on money because I am money, and I attract money.
Boom.
And
so
I make money. So
nowhere.
I'm not really too concerned about I'm concerned about what you have to bring to the table, and many more other facets than money. But I think that whoever I'm aligned with and the things that we want to do for the future is just going to require resources.
Exactly. You're going to get that.
We're going to need this in order to make this happen.
Exactly.
So the emphasis is not on money, but in order for us to travel around the world, which is it's not a pipe dream for me. That's another thing. It's actually my reality.
Right.
Okay. It's not like I'm wishing and hoping this is what I do.
Right.
So in order to do that, you do have to make sure that you have a surplus of supply.
Right. Well, what if you have it?
If I have it, I'm fine. And as a lesbian, my expectations are not going to be the same as a man, but I do need someone of, equal stature in order to make sure that we're matching what we're doing moving forward.
And they can appreciate the glory and the beauty of doing the lavish
And
things.
I don't, for me, if I'm in a position where I don't want to work right now, I don't want to work on this project, I don't want to work on this client, and I'm going to need you to make sure that you have enough to take care of us until I figure out what's next. That's my expectation.
Absolutely.
And then I don't have a problem fulfilling that role as a lesbian. But at the end of the day, I cannot continue just to attract people that are just not aligned with what I'm looking for moving forward.
Yeah, for sure. And that sums it up, actually. Yeah. That's a beautiful way to sum it up. And I'm going to retract, because I definitely would be upset if I lost my money, because I made a lot of money this year. But I retract that. I will be very sad, because I'm very grateful. But
I think love can carry a relationship. I remember someone telling me, like, love is cool, but no, like, that's the basis of what I want. I don't want to date anybody I don't like. Right. I don't want to date anybody I'm not in love with. I don't connect with.
I don't want to look at you when you wake up.
I don't really care about how much money you have. If I don't like you. And that's my choice.
To enjoy you.
But at the end of the day, exactly, I want to love you. And I think you do need to make sure that you can bring the resources needed to the table in order for us to sustain the life that we want to build together.
Customize what you need in your relationship.
Right. And the reality is, like, independent women that do make a certain amount of money is very rare.
For me, it's not about tearing the Black man down. It's actually the opposite. It's about building the Black man up. Because if you believe that you can do it, you can make it.
Absolutely.
Why is it that Black men don't think they can make six figures? I can tell you, like, you know what we need? We need more Black men to be inspectors for houses. There's actually a backup. I can't find it. I need an inspector right now. That's $500 a pop. I can get you paid $2,000 a day. So you're telling people, like, we're not tearing them down. We're like, hey, baby, I want to show you how you can do this. It's not about saying, well, you don't make this, I ain't going to talk to you.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like. It was like, y'all ain't doing this. The men out here nowadays.
No, but it's about hold you to that standard. And I only date Black men. I don't interracial date. I've never dated outside my race, ever.
I haven't either, but I'm open to it.
I don't know. Maybe I'll try it. I don't know. I'm scared. But that's a whole other conversation. I'm sorry, everybody.
I'm scared, too.
I'm sorry, white cameraman.
That's funny.
But it's really not about that. It's about building them up and holding them to the standard. Like, you can do this, and let's do it. Listen, because if I do it, why can't you?
Will you date a man that is in that phase, that discovery phase, and is like, hey, can you help me become an inspector, Dominique?
She don't need that.
Or do you want somebody that's already
most women want someone already there.
Well, I've done that a few times and it hasn't worked out for me. Right. So I will consider it if it's somebody that I'm really interested in and I really I vibe with them and I liked what we're growing to. I'm not opposed to that. I'm really not. Right. It just has to be the right person for me. I've dated somebody who made less money than me. We just stopped talking, and he had a corporate job that made under way less than what I made, and everybody knows I'm here, everybody, and it was a disaster, and part of it was because of the balance, it was very intimidating for him to see that I don't have to get up and go to work, and he got to go up to these people's office,
especially if it's entrepreneur in office,
right?
The schedules
it
don't
was
work.
Very intimidating for him. It was intimidating, like when I go out, like how much money I spend. Like I don't have a budget sometimes. Sometimes I do.
People do like to judge you on how you spend your money.
I have an assistant. You know what I'm saying?
I dated someone that like literally counted my pockets. I'm like, you're not even paying for this.
Right.
She's jealous.
But here's the thing, y'all. When I have kids, I'm gonna have a nanny. I have an assistant now. So if my nanny is $60,000 a year and you make $54,000, you might as well stay home with this baby.
You are so funny. I mean, fair.
Well, so that's why it ain't go. I mean, like,
I could pay you to stay home with this baby.
Actually,
basically.
we would save more money because after taxes, you make $60,000, you make $55,000.
But you're not gonna date the guy that wants to stay home.
I'm not, but you're taking money out of our household because I got to pay this girl $60,000 to watch this baby, and you make $55,000 after taxes. You're bringing home $40,000, so technically you don't.
That's a good point.
Okay, so we didn't even define hypergamy. Is that what it's called?
Huh?
Hypergamy.
Okay, tell us about it.
Okay, tell us about this.
So basically, it's just a definition of dating in a higher class. That's basically what it comes from. It comes from India.
Okay.
So you just any woman, all women do this from all races: white, Hispanic, Greek, Latin, African American, polka dot. They date men in a higher status so they can live a better life. That's just what women do.
And every other race dates up, and it's only black women that have to accept where men are.
We gotta hold the black men
so
down. So
Latino women date men, and Latino women can stay home and expect Pedro to pay the bills.
Thank you.
Jewish women stay home and expect their men to pay the bills. Russian women say every single other race of women are allowed to stay home except black women.
But you know what they're doing?
Lazy.
They're actually not working as hard as we are, because the black woman is a very independent, strong woman, and those women aren't as independent and strong as the black woman is. So a lot of us are like, I feel like most women who are white love to be a stay-at-home mom. Most Asians love being a stay-at-home mom. Like, they have a family dynamic. Like, most of their
but they're not
families
judged
are working
for it.
together.
Even
no,
if
not
a black
at all.
woman wanted to stay home, oh, she lazy. She don't want to work. She this, she that.
Oh, no.
Oh, she want to stay home. She ain't got no
I wish
job.
more black women wanted to stay at home.
They do, but they're
We
judged.
do.
We're judged for it. We're called a gold digger. We're putting too much pressure on the black man to work too hard, or that's too much pressure on him. Every other race, a man is a provider and expected to be a provider, except the black man.
Right.
So
every other race.
What do you think it is?
I just think they're smart. At the end of the day, we as women, a lot of us, especially with black women, we don't tap into our femininity and us being
back to
women.
that, exactly.
It's really back to that. A lot of us are too masculine.
Yes,
you want to do
that's what it
everything.
is.
You want to be. You can't be everything to all people. You have to figure out what is going to work for you. And some of us are naturally masculine, and that works for us. But for the majority of us, a lot of us are more feminine than we like to say that we are.
Right.
And so when we tap back into our femininity as women and say, okay, what makes me happy? A lot of us do better at home. And then once you kind of say, okay, that's what I really need. I really need to be a stay-at-home mom, and maybe I need to do a little part-time job from the house or run my business from the house.
Exactly.
And then at that point, you need to say, okay, you need to be real with yourself and say, okay, I need to attract a husband or a wife that, aligns with that. We got to start speaking things into existence. Stop saying, well, I'm just going to do, what so-and-so doing, because that's what everybody expects me to do, because everybody expects a black woman to be the working mule. We've been doing that crap since slavery. And so a lot of us are going back to the basics. Like, okay, I'm a woman. What do I bring to the table? That's being nurturing. That's being loving. That's cooking home-cooked meals for your husband and your children. Not feed them chicken nuggets and French fries from a frozen bag.
I agree 100%.
But so I also believe that whoever makes the money runs the household. So
the woman, women run their household.
But what?
Thank you.
Okay,
they really do. My aunt who doesn't have a job, and I love my aunt. But she has not worked my whole life. She worked at a sunglasses store one time to get out the house. And,
she's smart.
But she runs that wallet. My uncle don't even know how to pay a bill.
Okay.
She runs the money. I don't even call him for nothing. I have to call her. Oh, if I ask him for something, he'll approve it. But she'll drag, like one time I asked for money for my school books. She dragged her feet. Hell, it was a month into the school year. Hell, if I ain't get the books by now, I ain't gonna get it. He already approved it, but she didn't buy them yet. So realistically, the women really do. It's the person who pays the bills that runs the money. And so the real winner is you pay those household bills.
It's the person that actually pays and not actually makes it.
Correct.
Right.
Okay.
Because a real masculine man knows the deal. If he has a good woman at home that's taking care of the household as far as the children, running the finances behind the scenes,
Correct.
He
is
will
schooling,
provide. He'll want to provide. But there's a lot of situations, and I'm not saying it's any of y'all, but there's a lot of black women who a man is not going to want to provide for. You're not doing nothing for me.
Right.
You're not giving
Then
me
they should be
anything.
married.
And it's I'm not even just talking about marriage. I'm just talking about in general. Like, there's a lot, men like to feel needed. They like to feel wanted. They like to feel like
Served,
they can be
taken care
vulnerable
of.
around you.
Yes.
Yeah. And I feel like a lot of black women don't know how to be soft. They don't know how to nurture a black man. So that's why a lot of black men would never be that strong. Like, they'll be a provider for a white woman, you know, basketball players, all the rich, you know, they're going to be, because those women are going to be exactly what they want.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They can even mold them into exactly what they want. But with a black woman, I'm not doing that.
Exactly.
I don't know who you thought. I'm still about to do this. I'm still about to do this. We're so not weird, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, I definitely understand.
We're so strong. We want to be so strong, and we want to be so right, and we want to be so yearned for, but we don't want to give and be vulnerable and submissive to most men.
So what's some of the submissive things that you can do that a man wants?
Flirt, touch, massage, kiss, compliment. You know, just be their peace. Like, I love when my man is just like, and I'm just like, oh, baby, and I'm rubbing, I'm scratching his scalp. Like, I'm just doing all the things because he's like, and this is his safe place now.
Ask yourself, if you are looking for a man, the number one thing as a black woman is ask yourself, am I being his peace? It don't matter. Am I being his peace at this moment? And if the answer is no, then zip your mouth. Be quiet. Do not complain. No man wants to come home from work and hear you complain. It's exhausting.
I don't want an actor.
Nobody wants to hear that.
No one.
Zip your mouth.
People
be quiet.
Counting your time. Like, you supposed to be here at
Zip your mouth.
Too much. It's too much. Why even worry about all that stuff? It's too much.
Have a nice drink ready for him. Be his peace. Make him make his sanctuary so he wants to come home.
Exactly.
Make him be like, oh, I can't wait to get home. Not, oh, let me drive around the block because she's gonna be complaining. I'm already late. Let me be later because she's gonna be complaining either way.
Exactly.
You know, you want to
exactly
be his peace. And if you're not being ask yourself every day, what can I do to be his peace today?
But what can we do to be my peace? Because if you ain't peaceful, like, it's already gonna just bring more issues. Like, you already know if you got an attitude, him walking in the door, that it's not gonna be a pleasant night. Just choose to have a better night. Pick a better thought. You know, we choose to be stuck in an attitude. You can easily just be like, am I really mad? What am I mad about?
Right. Turn it around.
Move on.
Right. Be his peace. And most importantly, at the end of the day, you want to be able to love your man. And the other thing is, we have to get past being an independent woman. Like, I am successful. You will never hear like, oh, I'm a boss babe, I'm this and that. You'll never hear me say I'm an independent woman. When I go on dates with guys, I now don't talk about what I do.
That's good.
I don't talk about my career. What do you do? Oh, I own a few businesses. Like, it's just like a few small businesses. I don't say like I run multi-million-dollar corporations. You know what I mean? Like, I don't say that I'm a real estate mogul. You know, I don't go into that because that's not what men are attracted to. Men are attracted to your physical. Men are attracted to you as you.
Visual.
They're visual. They're not attracted. They don't care about my career. Or a real man isn't going to care what I do. They're going to be attracted to me as a person, and that may even be a distraction for them or a turn off, you know, for a real man. So it's very important to me that I make sure that I put my feminine ways forward before I even start talking about anything about my success.
I like
so
that.
that's very important. I'm like, I'm a boss. I'm independent. I'm like, no, I'm good.
And they're going to be like, well, she don't need me.
Right, yes I do. And I'm not paying for nothing on no dates. Oh, I ain't paying for a thing. Okay?
This is a good segue. All right. So I have a game for you guys. Okay, it's called I Have or I Have Not. So however you want to demonstrate your answer, we got whiteboards on the floor. I secretly always wanted to be a teacher, so this is living my dream. All right, so I'm asking you questions. Right, I have or I have not, or just wipe out not, or however you feel compelled to do it.
Say yeah.
So if you have done it, put I have. And if you have not, put I have not. Okay? So, yeah, got it. All right, so I'm going to ask you the first question. I have or I have not paid or went Dutch on a first date? Show your cameras. You have.
I would never.
Okay, Kay. You have.
I have, because I don't like no man expecting anything from me at the end of the day. So if I didn't like you and didn't vibe, I'm going to just, separate checks, please. So there's no interest at all. We're moving separate ways. So definitely.
Separate checks is separate ways?
Separate checks is separate ways.
Okay.
Now, if I like you, I have not.
Okay. What about you?
If you're taking me out on a date, then it means you like me. You will pay. You're paying for my time,
Exactly.
my presence, my looks, my personality, everything. And men like that. A real man likes that because he knows he's paying for that.
You feeling
So
needed.
I would never come out of pocket. The only thing I have done, I will maybe pay a tip or something like that. And if I do a tip, that means I really like you. But other than that, that's tacky.
Okay.
I didn't grow up there that fast. How long you been like that? Because I know I was young
Day
and
one,
dumb.
I don't play that.
Damn. I was
Day
like,
one. Okay, so I definitely have. I feel like whoever is in my situation, whoever asked the other person out on a date should pay. So that's how
I like that.
that's how I've been rolling. Yeah, go ahead.
I erased mine, but y'all saw. I have not.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
But the reality is like you don't understand the amount of time it takes for me to get ready for a
Thank
date.
you.
When
Thank
I
you.
come out
Thank
for
you.
you,
Thank
first of all,
you.
I want y'all to know my minimum hourly rate is $250 an hour.
Your minimum who?
Hourly rate, like when
Oh.
when I work with clients. So if it takes me an hour and a half to get ready, and then
That
I'm
was
giving you
$199.
that's my special.
Oh, okay.
That's the special.
I'm just
y'all.
getting
but
clarity.
my that's the special. But my hourly rate is $250 an hour. So if I'm taking away time, an hour to get ready for you, probably an hour and a half if I really want to, an hour and a half, that's 3 hours of my day. The least you can do is buy me dinner. And I honestly don't overdrink on dates. I do not want to go on a long date. So I always have a hard stop. So I try to make sure no dates more than an hour and a half. So like that way there's no pressure because I don't expect someone to go on lavish dates. Yeah. I do not want to go on a lavish first date in case I don't like you because I want to be respectful of your time. And I'm not going to abuse someone. I'm not going to like go out with you for money or to get a free meal because my energy is worth more.
Thank you.
So, but you could, if I got dressed to come out with you, you could spend $100 and we can go out to a dinner.
That's it.
I believe in lavish first dates.
I'm not going on a lavish first date because I might not like you and I feel like that's abusive of spending your resources.
Before I even go on a date with you, I would have to like you.
Right.
That's
facts.
That's just big facts. So I don't even want to be around people I don't like. So we've already talked on the phone. We already like each other. Like now we're meeting.
Still on the deal.
All right. Second question. Let's get through them.
Okay.
All right. I have or I have not had sex on the first date. I gotta think.
I'm not putting my business out there.
I gotta know. I don't waste time.
It's okay. Tell us.
Okay.
I mean, if I want it, I want it. I'm very comfortable in my sexuality. I'm gonna do whatever I kind of want.
Okay. X.
I'm a Christian woman. I don't do things like that.
Okay. All right. I have not that I can remember. Okay, take that back. I was already, you know me, we're working on this, guys. I was already in a relationship before.
They didn't even met them. They were on dates. First date, they was go together.
So
already.
So then, yeah. So that's the only time.
I have. So I don't believe in time restraints, commitments. Like I go with the vibe and the energy. It's not often, you know what I mean? Like I'm not like, okay, like if it's a vibe, it's a vibe.
It's a vibe, it's a
It's
vibe.
like, you know, it's not like, oh, every guy I go on a date with. Like I'm not, like, I don't feel like I'm overly sexually promiscuous, but I'm not like, like, oh, I gotta be in this and that, you know? But the older I get, the more I'm actually not as open to that just because more the energy exchange. Like I don't want to exchange
Same,
energy.
as I get older.
So it's not about the sex, it's more about the energy. Because like I'd be like, oh, if I didn't have to exchange energy with you, I'd probably just have sex right now. But
Okay. All right. So speaking of sex, who's ever faked an orgasm?
We all fake orgasms.
I don't put us
Can
in
we
that category.
Can we answer the question?
Yes, I have several times.
Okay.
All the time. Especially if you had to stroke the egos, yes.
Let's hear
fake
everybody's
coming,
answer.
but
So you have not. Okay. But you have several times. Hold it up to the camera. Why are you doing this?
I think a lot of times when you with somebody, the sex may not always be on point, but you love them and you care about them. You're not gonna hurt their little feelings, especially a black man. You gonna tell them that Hubert wasn't good tonight? He'll be hurt. So sometimes you have to fake it to make it. I'm just being honest.
how your pussy don't just be oop. How your vagina don't just be telling them. Like I can't even fake it because my vagina would just tell
I still
them.
have a release in other ways.
I know,
It's just
but
not from Hubert. Maybe from the mouth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The
Not
salami
Hebrew.
wasn't on point for the night.
But
yeah, but I still got me. I always get me.
Okay, because I was
Yeah.
like, I can't.
Okay. So I have never faked an orgasm. I don't
You a
care if
good
it
one.
takes 2 hours.
We
We're
gonna
not
get
doing
it.
that.
I'm not.
Lesbians
faking
have
it.
long sex though. Y'all have long sexual encounters.
But let's be clear, I'm a lesbian, but I have slept with dudes. Like, let's just keep it
Oh, okay.
100.
Oh, I know.
I have never faked it ever.
Really?
Ever. I
Be
don't
genuine,
care.
'cause I
Very
lied to her.
genuine. And if it didn't work, then like
Yeah, it was what it was.
then we're
Yeah.
gonna have to get some other things going here.
Okay.
I've lied about it, but I've never faked it. Like if someone was like, "Oh, did you orgasm?" I'd be like, Like
No,
I won't
you know.
I've done both. Yeah, I've done
Yeah,
both.
like I've
done
lied
yeah.
and just like, kind of, like,
Kind of.
I
what I'm
be trying
saying,
not to
like
be
that,
mean.
yeah, like
but
that.
like in the middle, I'll be like, I'll just train them like lower, softer.
Yeah.
right
Why can't
here.
we just talk through
Yeah,
sex?
like
Yeah,
just
too.
put it.
Yeah, let's talk through
so
it.
I'm gonna get
But
mine.
sometimes it just be an off night. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
It's been an off night.
There's only one time where I had sex and I didn't really want to, but I just felt like I had to.
I hate those times. But
Oh,
I haven't
go ahead.
had them
Yeah.
recently, but
I have not, but I've had sex and I have not. I didn't come,
Yeah.
but I'll wrap it up. Like I'll be like, but
Wrap it
I'll tell
up.
y'all how I wrap it up. I'll be like, okay, you can come in my mouth, but I'll. And they love it, you know. Is this too much?
Wrap it
I'm gonna
up.
finish. I already started. I'm like, okay, Daddy, you can, Daddy. Ooh, I
Yeah,
just really
you
want
can
you to
hurry
come
up.
in my mouth so bad. Ooh.
that is that is
Can you
so
please come in my
funny.
mouth? And then they'll just come so fucking
Right,
fast,
they
so
do.
freaking
The men are
fast,
easy
and,
like
and
that.
then they don't even care if I came or not, and I
Right.
don't have to lie. They just hurry up and come in my mouth.
I've even stopped some. Like I'd be like, I'm not into this.
Or
I have done that before.
Yeah, I've definitely been like, this is.
I just hurry up and let them get the nut real fast so I can get on with
Oh
my
my
day.
god! And
Right.
I mean, it's just the truth though. This is not really.
It's just the truth. It's
But
like
if you, it just all depends on who you're messing with.
It
If you
is.
date men who really are into pleasing you, they're gonna do what needs to be done at the beginning. So, and there may be just different things. It
and
may
you
be
need
a
to know how.
different
You
thing.
need to know your own body, but that's
That's
a
it.
whole.
Bingo.
But sometimes I
That's
don't
all
feel
that
like.
conversation.
There's times that I don't want to come. There's times that I just like literally like I
You like
really
the
want to please
experience. Me
you.
too.
Like I
Okay.
enjoy the experience. I'm like I really want you to come, and then I want to like snuggle.
Okay.
You know, like I don't have to come. Like I mean, not a lot. So, like trust me. Like so, I really like to come like
Yeah.
97% of the time. But there's that 3% of the time. I'm like, you know what?
good.
You can come, and I like now I want to watch TV.
That's
and
so
I got to
funny.
get up early. So I want to make sure you have that release. That's part of being submissive. Like I want to make sure my man is served. You
Okay.
know, so whether I come or not, I'm gonna make sure you're good.
All right. Next question. Have you ever? I have or have not thought about someone else while having sex so you can come. All right. Let's start with Dominique.
Caught me off guard. I be watching porn, y'all. So I
Yeah,
be
me
like,
too.
oh, that one porn scene. But not like somebody that I like been with, not like a partner, another partner.
Okay.
But just more like porn.
We all have. It's natural.
Yeah. I don't. Is that wrong?
No, it's not wrong. It's natural.
Okay. I didn't feel right, but I had to.
It is what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Mhm.
Several times. So is this like this? Everybody does this?
I have,
what
but
you do.
not with my
If you're a woman,
current.
it's what you do.
Because, but Kay's current man is everything. So we need to like give a disclaimer that this is a what's the word? Anomaly.
Unicorn. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
This is a unicorn experience. So like he's not your average man. So you don't.
Aw, you're
anything-
so-
He's very special.
He is. If anything, I've thought about past encounters with him again, right? Like so that I can channel that time again because I'm like, ooh, that was a really good.
Oh, that's
night.
hot.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
a good idea. Okay, next question. I have or have not broke up with someone because they didn't have enough money.
Always.
Oh, I have actually.
Let's
Some people broke though. Like you can't.
Yeah. I had one guy. I should know that. I dropped him off at
go. You go ahead. Let's
bench.
answer.
I mean, I was
Hold up yours.
I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not dating you if you make pennies.
You dropped him off at a park bench.
Yeah, he was homeless. He told me that after the fact.
What the hell? You're not doing enough vetting.
You're right. I was bored that night. You're right. You're right.
That is funny.
He was homeless.
Oh my God.
I dropped him off at a bench at Cotswold Mall. He was
I'm not doing you at all.
It's so funny because I have a similar situation. So like,
He was dark skinned.
this was back in Minnesota. I was in college. I was in college. All of a sudden, his stuff was in my dorm, and I was like, "What is all this?" And he's all like, "Well, you know, times is hard. I said, oh no, I put all his stuff outside. I said, no, sir. not even $3. I felt bad. I gave him
$5.
$5.
College.
I had to get the guy the money back from the day.
I had scholarship money,
felt
so I
bad
was
for him.
balling. I
Gotcha.
was
Right, that's that good money. Yeah.
What about you, Dominique?
I have, and I'm gonna tell you all the story because
Okay.
it was pretty recent.
All right.
It was more so. It wasn't that. It wasn't about the money. It was more about feeling like that person wasn't a provider, and more that it was what they did. So this person said that they were going to give me some money for something, and they were supposed to give me $500. Then I had to ask for it, which was like very inappropriate. I'm never gonna ask a man for something. I mean, I really have it. Like, I'll be okay. I'm always gonna be okay. Y'all are my friends. I can call my friends for $500.
Yeah.
like it's nothing. Like, you know. So if I have to call a man for it that I had sex with, like, that's a problem for me.
I feel that.
So, and then he said, "Oh, when do you need it?" I'm like, "Tomorrow."
Yeah.
You know, like when we discussed. And he's like, "Well, I don't have it." I'm like, "Okay." So I left it alone. So then later on, he was like, "Oh, well, can I give you $300 tomorrow, and then $300 I'll put $300 in your account next week." Sure. So then tomorrow came, and he's like, "Okay." I'm like, "Well, you know, when am I gonna see you?" You know, being submissive. He's like, "Oh, I'm really busy. I'm studying." I'm like, "Okay." I was like, so then finally I'm like, "Well, can I come by and get my money?" You know, I'm trying to be submissive about it, like,
You're so funny.
you know, like, and gentle, you know. But now I gotta go straight for the kill. And,
my money, sir.
and then I drive all the way over there. And I brought him something because he was studying for a big test. So I brought a present, you know, wishing him good luck. And then next thing you know, I saw the money was on the counter. So I was like, "Oh, okay, I know you're studying." You know, he's like very, very busy. So I was like, "Oh, is that the money?" And he's like, "Oh, yeah, there you go." I'm like, "Okay, thank you. You know, I'll see you later. You know, whatever." I take the money. And something told me when I got in the car to count it.
What was it? 175?
He gave you 175.
It was $100. I wanted to drive my car into his house. I was so mad.
Did he have a bunch of 5, 10, 1s and 20s? Like, why did you not know that this was not $300?
I understand. Who would have the audacity to have me drive over there? Like, who do you think I am?
For
$100. He doesn't do
Cash
Cash App. He's old school. He doesn't do any of those things. Whatever. So I'm like, you literally had the audacity to have me drive to your house for who do you think that I am? Do you really think that I need $100?
$40 to get your nails fixed.
Right. My
That's
nails
funny.
aren't $40, but whatever.
I'm not doing that.
Like, who do you think I am?
That's funny.
So that's the only situation that I have. But
leave it alone,
you know,
yeah.
that was like a wrap for me. Like you
I'm
literally
done.
crumbled up money and like made me think that you were giving me $300, which was already short.
Crumbled up my
Like, who do you think I am? Like,
God.
I'm appalled. So yes, that's my story.
Oh, all right.
I'm appalled.
Well, this is an amazing episode. This is our first time. You guys are our first guests. Yay!
Oh, awesome.
So we definitely have to have more. So this was a great episode. Thank you guys so much for joining us this week. Again, let everybody know where they can find you.
I'm Kay Jones. You can find me at She Orgasms on Instagram. That's SheOrgasms. The website, the Facebook, the everything, all things are She Orgasms.
Woo. And I'm Keisha K. Young. Sorry. I'm on Facebook and I'm also on Instagram.
Awesome. My name is Bianca Ariel. You can find me at Hello Bianca Ariel on Instagram. Make sure you check out our show and DM us any messages. If you can relate to this episode, have any similar stories, DM us at I'm Glad You Asked Show on Instagram.
Yes, and I'm Dominique Rice. So if you're looking to make six figures, black men, white men, Asian men, anybody, contact me. DominiqueRice.com. I am running a special $199 for a 1-hour consult, and we will get you an action plan to take you to the next level. Everybody can make six figures. It's really not hard. You can do it working part-time. I can show you how to do it. It's very simple. You can also follow me on Instagram. I am Dominique Rice, and thank y'all so much for tuning in. We will have more guests on our next episode. We have some fellas coming in to spill the tea.
We've been talking a lot of crap.
Right. So we got some strong black men that are going to spill the tea. So stay tuned and make sure you tune in to the next episode, y'all.
See you next time.
Bye.